War is usually loud. There are explosions, gunshots, cries of pain. But sometimes war is silent. In August 1915, during World War I, a group of British soldiers walked forward during a battle. They were clearly seen. They were watched by other soldiers, and then they disappeared. There were no gunfire, no retreat, no prisoners. They simply walked into a cloud and never seen again. This is a story of Lost Battalion of the Norfolk Regiment and one of the greatest mysteries of World War I. By the summer of 1915, World War I had become a terrible war with no clear winner. Millions of soldiers were stuck in trenches across Europe. Both sides were tired, injured, and desperate to win. Britain decided to try a risky plan. They attacked the Gallipoli Peninsula, which was controlled by Ottoman Empire. The plan was to take control of the land, open a sea route, help their allies. But the plan failed badly. Gallipoli was hot, dry, and dangerous. The enemy knew the land very well. Thousands of soldiers were killed. Among the British troops sent, there was a unit from England called the Norfolk Regiment. There were no professional soldiers. Many were ordinary men, workers, farmers, and clerks. They had no idea that they would soon become part of mystery. The Norfolk Regiment came from the country of Norfolk in England. One part of this regiment was called the Sandringham Company. Many of these men worked on land owned by the British king. Some had even worked for the royal family. This made the disappearance even more important and shocking. They trained together. They trusted each other. They followed orders. In August 1915, they were ordered to move inland and attack enemy positions near Hill 60, a dangerous area with trees and hills. The mission was risky. Poor maps, very little support, strong enemy positions. But they were soldiers, so they moved forward. The date was August 12, 1915. The weather was extremely hot. The soldiers were tired and thirsty. Their uniforms were covered in dust. The Norfolk Regiment marched across open land toward a wooden area. Nearby soldiers from New Zealand were watching from higher ground. What they saw that day would later shock historians. Ahead of Norfolk soldiers was a thick cloud close to the ground. At first, it did not seem strange. Fog was common during war, but this fog was different. It did not move. It did not change shape. It stayed in one place even though there was wind, and it was directly in the path of the soldiers. The Norfolk soldiers kept walking. One group after another entered the cloud. From the outside, the soldiers simply vanished into it. There was no gunshots, no shouting, no explosions. The soldiers watching expected the man to come out to the other side. They never did. Then something strange happened. The cloud slowly lifted up from the ground, it rose into the air, and then it drifted away. When the fog was gone, the battlefield was empty. The Norfolk Regiment was gone. At first, British commanders believed the soldiers had been killed or captured, but there were problems with this explanation. No injured soldiers returned, no prisoners were reported, no clear signs of a battle were found. Later, when the war ended, the British asked the Ottoman Empire about the missing battalion. The Ottomans gave a surprising answer. They said they had no record of fighting or capturing the Norfolk Regiment in that area. No prisoners, no reports, nothing. Families back in England waited for news. Wives, parents, and children searched lists of the dead. Many names were never found. The soldiers were simply listed as missing. Years later, British teams searched the Gallipoli area. Eventually, they found human remains, bones, pieces of uniforms, military equipment. Some bodies were found far from known battle areas. Some were scattered across difficult land. This raised new questions. Why were the bodies spread out? Why were they not buried together? Why were there no clear signs of heavy fighting? Even then, not all soldiers were found. Some men were never accounted for. The official explanation said they died during the battle and confusion, but many people were not convinced. War is chaotic, smoke, dust, and heat can confuse soldiers. Eyewitness can make mistakes. The Norfolk Regiment may have moved too far forward. They may have been surrounded and killed. Records could have been lost, bodies could have been moved over time. This explanation is possible, but it does not explain everything. Another idea is that the fog was normal. The soldiers watching were tired and stressed. Their memories may not have been perfect. Under pressure, the brain can misunderstand what it sees, but many witnesses describe the same thing: a low cloud, not moving, silent. This makes people question the simple explanation. Some believe something unusual happened, not magic, not fantasy, but something rare and unexplained. A strange weather event, an accident that was never properly recorded. History does not explain everything, and sometimes important details are lost forever. This mystery is not important because it is strange. It is important because it involves real people. Men with families, men with futures, men who never come house. War destroys more than lives, it destroys truth. Reports disappear, witnesses die, stories change, and sometimes even hundreds of soldiers can disappear from history. The Norfolk Regiment did not win a famous battle. They did not change the war, but their story still lives on. They followed orders, they walked forward, they did their duty, and then they were lost. Whether they died in confusion, tragedy, or an event, we still do not understand. Their fate remains one of the greatest mysteries of World War I because sometimes history gives us no answers, only silence, only fog, only the memories of soldiers who walked forward and never returned. If this video is good, please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.